Hello and welcome to today's video where we'll be delving into the extraordinary life of Mary Anning, a woman whose contributions to paleontology in the early 19th century were nothing short of revolutionary. Born in 1799 in Lyme Regis, a small coastal town in Dorset, Anning's story is one of perseverance, scientific curiosity, and groundbreaking discoveries that would reshape our understanding of prehistoric life. Despite facing numerous obstacles as a working-class woman in a male-dominated field, Anning's expertise in fossil hunting and her keen eye for detail would earn her a reputation that extended far beyond the shores of her hometown. Today we'll explore how this remarkable individual, often overlooked in her own time, came to be recognised as one of the most important figures in the history of paleontology. Anning's journey into the world of fossils began at a young age, influenced by her father Richard, a cabinet maker who supplemented the family's meagre income by collecting and selling fossils to tourists. The Jurassic coast of Lyme Regis, with its blue lias cliffs, proved to be a veritable treasure trove of prehistoric remains. It was here, amidst the constant threat of landslides and the relentless tides, that Anning would make some of her most significant discoveries. The perilous nature of her work cannot be overstated. In 1833, she narrowly escaped death when a landslide buried her beloved dog, Trey. This incident serves as a stark reminder of the dangers Anning faced in pursuit of her passion. Perhaps you will laugh when I say that the death of my old faithful dog has quite upset me. The cliff that fell upon him and killed him in a moment before my eyes and close to my feet. It was but a moment between me and the same fate. Anning's early life was far from easy. Born into a family of religious dissenters, she faced discrimination from the outset. The Anning family's status as nonconformists meant they were excluded from many aspects of society, including access to certain professions and educational institutions. This early experience of marginalization would foreshadow the challenges Anning would face throughout her career in the scientific community. Despite these obstacles, young Mary showed an extraordinary resilience and curiosity about the world around her. A pivotal moment in Anning's life occurred when she was just 15 months old. In an event that became part of local law, she was being held by a neighbour when lightning struck a nearby tree, killing the 3 women beneath it. Anning miraculously survived. This brush with death seemed to imbue her with a remarkable vitality and intelligence, at least according to local folklore. While we must be cautious about attributing too much significance to such tales, it's clear that Anning possessed an exceptional mind from a young age. A local doctor declared her survival miraculous. Anning's family said she had been a sickly baby before the event, but afterwards she seemed to blossom. Tragedy struck again when Anning was 11 years old. Her father, Richard, died from tuberculosis and injuries sustained from a fall off a cliff. This loss left the family in dire financial straits, forcing them to rely on parish relief. It was in this context of hardship that Anning's fossil hunting skills became not just a passion, but a necessity for survival. The family continued to collect and sell fossils, setting up a table near the local coach stop to attract tourists. It was here that Anning began to hone her skills in identifying and preparing fossils, skills that would later earn her the respect of some of the most eminent scientists of her day. Anning's first major discovery came in 1811, when she was just 12 years old. Her brother Joseph had unearthed a 4-foot ichthyosaur skull, and Mary subsequently found the rest of the skeleton. This find created a sensation in scientific circles, challenging prevailing ideas about the history of the Earth and the nature of extinct species. At a time when many still adhered to a literal interpretation of biblical creation, Anning's discoveries were forcing a re-evaluation of long-held beliefs. The ichthyosaur skeleton, which Anning painstakingly excavated and prepared, was eventually purchased by the British Museum, though sadly, Anning received little credit for her work at the time. Perhaps Anning's most significant discovery came in 1823, when she unearthed the first complete plesiosaur skeleton. This find was particularly important as it represented a type of marine reptile previously unknown to science. The plesiosaur, with its long neck and small head, was unlike anything seen before. When Anning's sketch of the skeleton was presented to the Geological Society in 1824, it caused a sensation. However, the French anatomist Georges Cuvier initially suspected the specimen might be a fake, a composite of different animals. This accusation could have seriously damaged Anning's reputation, but fortunately, further examination confirmed the authenticity of her find. The extraordinary thing in this young woman is that she has made herself so thoroughly acquainted with the science that the moment she finds any bones, she knows to what tribe they belong. She fixes the bones on a frame with cement and then makes drawings and has them engraved. Anning's contributions weren't limited to large, spectacular fossils. She also made significant discoveries in the field of invertebrate palaeontology. In 1826, she discovered what appeared to be a chamber containing dried ink inside a belemnite fossil. This find led to the realization that these extinct cephalopods used ink for defense, much like modern squid and cuttlefish. Anning's keen observational skills also led her to suggest that the curious objects known as bezoar stones were actually fossilized feces. This insight was confirmed by William Buckland, who named them coprolites. These discoveries demonstrate Anning's ability to make connections and draw insights that eluded many of her contemporaries. Despite her extraordinary contributions to paleontology, Anning faced significant barriers due to her gender and social class. As a woman in early 19th century Britain, she was excluded from many scientific institutions. The Geological Society of London, for instance, did not allow women to become members or even attend meetings as guests. This meant that Anning was often unable to present her own findings, relying instead on male geologists to publish descriptions of the fossils she discovered. It's a sad irony that many of these men failed to credit Anning for her work, a fact that understandably caused her considerable resentment. Despite these challenges, Anning managed to build a reputation that extended far beyond Lyme Regis. Her expertise was sought after by many leading geologists of the day, including William Buckland, Henry de la Beche, and Adam Sedgwick. These men often visited Anning in Lyme Regis, not just to purchase specimens, but to discuss anatomy and classification. Anning's knowledge was such that she could engage in detailed scientific correspondence with these eminent figures. This is all the more remarkable when we consider that her formal education was limited to what she could glean from the local Congregationalist Sunday school. Miss Philpott and Mary Anning have been able to show me with utter certainty which are the ichthyosaurs, dorsal fins of sharks that correspond to different types. Financial struggles were a constant feature of Anning's life. The fossil trade was unpredictable, with long periods between major finds. In 1835, she lost most of her life savings in a bad investment. It was only through the intervention of her friend William Buckland that Anning was granted an annual pension from the British Association for the Advancement of Science and the British government. This recognition of her contributions to geology provided her with some financial security in her later years. However, it's worth noting that this support came very late in her life, after decades of financial precarity. Anning's life came to an end in 1847, when she succumbed to breast cancer at the age of 47. In the years leading up to her death, her fossil work had decreased due to her illness, and sadly, there were even rumours in Lyme Regis that she had developed a drinking problem. These rumours were likely due to misinterpretation of the effects of the laudanum she was taking for pain relief. It's a poignant reminder of how easily a person's reputation can be tarnished, even in their final days. However, the regard in which Anning was held by the geological community was evident in the response to her illness. When news of her cancer diagnosis spread, the Geological Society raised money from its members to assist with her expenses. Moreover, the council of the newly created Dorset County Museum made Anning an honorary member. These gestures, while perhaps small consolation for a lifetime of struggle and lack of recognition, do indicate that Anning's contributions were valued by her scientific peers. I cannot close this notice of our losses by death without adverting to that of one who, though not placed among even the easier classes of society, but one who had to earn her daily bread by her labour, yet contributed by her talents and untiring researches in no small degree to our knowledge of the great Palaeosaurians and other forms of organic life entombed in the vicinity of Lyme Regis. In the years following her death, Anning's reputation has grown considerably. Her life story has been the subject of numerous books, articles, and even works of fiction. In 1999, on the 200th anniversary of her birth, an international meeting of historians, paleontologists, and fossil collectors was held in Lyme Regis to discuss her life and work. In 2010, 163 years after her death, the Royal Society included Anning in a list of the 10 British women who have most influenced the history of science. These posthumous recognitions, while certainly deserved, serve as a stark reminder of how often women's contributions to science have been overlooked or undervalued in their own time. Perhaps one of the most fitting tributes to Anning's legacy came in 2022, when a statue of her was unveiled in Lyme Regis. The statue, which depicts Anning striding forward with a fossil in one hand and a hammer in the other, stands as a permanent reminder of her contributions to science. It's particularly poignant that the campaign for this statue was initiated by a schoolgirl, demonstrating how Anning's story continues to inspire new generations of aspiring scientists. As we conclude our exploration of Mary Anning's remarkable life, it's clear that her legacy extends far beyond the fossils she discovered. She stands as a testament to the power of curiosity, perseverance, and scientific inquiry, regardless of one's background or circumstances. The carpenter's daughter has won a name for herself, and has deserved to win it. As we've seen, Mary Anning's life and work had a profound impact on the field of paleontology and our understanding of prehistoric life. Her discoveries of ichthyosaurs, plesiosaurs, and pterosaurs helped to reshape scientific thinking about the history of life on Earth. Moreover, her meticulous approach to fossil collection and preparation set new standards in the field. Anning's story is not just one of scientific achievement, but also of perseverance in the face of significant social and economic barriers. Her legacy serves as an inspiration to scientists, particularly women in STEM fields, who continue to face obstacles in their pursuit of knowledge. It's worth noting that while Anning's contributions are now widely recognised, this recognition has been long in coming. The recent efforts to commemorate her life, such as the statue in Lyme Regis and her inclusion on commemorative coins, are important steps in ensuring that her story is not forgotten. However, they also serve as a reminder of how many other contributions by women and individuals from marginalised groups may have been overlooked throughout history. As we celebrate Anning's achievements, we should also be mindful of the need to seek out and recognise diverse voices in science, both past and present. It is a very great thing to be able to say that the carpenter's daughter has won a name for herself, and has deserved to win it. In conclusion, Mary Anning's life offers us valuable lessons about the nature of scientific discovery, the importance of perseverance, and the ongoing struggle for recognition faced by many in the scientific community. Her story continues to resonate today, inspiring new generations of fossil hunters and scientists. As we move forward, it's crucial that we continue to uncover and celebrate the contributions of individuals like Anning, whose work has shaped our understanding of the world around us. Thank you for joining me on this exploration of Mary Anning's extraordinary life. If you've enjoyed this video, please consider liking and subscribing to the channel. Your support makes it possible for me to continue bringing these fascinating stories to light. Do let me know in the comments if there are other overlooked figures from the history of science you'd like me to cover in future videos.